right, good morning, everybody. Good morning. This is Donovan Sadiq, and you are listening to Loving the Skin I'm In. It is 2018, and this month is going by pretty fast. I'm joined by special local earning the hate, DKD. How's everything going?
It's going fabulous. I cannot complain.
You cannot complain. I mean, are they still putting... are they still burning you in effigy and all that other stuff like that?
I think so. They got some voodoo dolls and stuff out there. I'm feeling some pricks every now and again.
Yes. Word on the street is you did your show on Sunday live without me.
Hey.
And it hit for some apparent reason.
I don't know what happened.
Well, what was going on? I mean, do you think that
I don't know.
What was the topic? I mean, because I was out of town.
Regarding Black Panther,
mm-hmm.
which is a reoccurring theme, it seems like, but basically, do the so-called conscious woke people really want unity?
Really want unity.
Yeah.
So, and we can still look that up on your Facebook page. And
it's still there.
And still there and check it out. Okay, great. Yeah, I was, blown away. Then your numbers are you're still growing. You have more followers than I do now. On my personal YouTube
consistency.
page. Consistency.
And I'm cute. No, I'm just playing. I'm just kidding.
Absolutely. Okay, well, today what I want to talk about is why I left and why I was gone last week, because, it's funny how the narrative, and I'm not pointing any individual person out or anybody like that, because regardless of how you feel about me, it's actions, not words.
Absolutely.
So you can say one thing and be doing, got a cold now.
It's cold outside.
Yeah,
it's cold.
And doing something totally different.
Yeah.
So basically, the narrative is, because I hold Black women accountable, when you look like a clown, I'm going to tell you look like a clown. I'm sorry. I mean, if you're our age,
right, and
you're running around with blue and purple hair and all that other stuff, you look like a clown. Or your wig split is not right. I'm going to, that's the way I feel about it. That's my personal opinion. And I'm it's just my personal opinion, but obviously it makes...
Split your wig.
Yeah, but obviously it must be important how I feel for people to give me the feedback that they give me.
Yes.
To do that. So, anyway...
I think you're just a little bit jaded about wigs.
No, I'm not, because even if you're bald-headed, which I'm going to share with you, it's just hair. Matter of fact, I'll put it back up here, but... Who cares about hair anyway? It's just hair. Those of us that are follically challenged.
Listen,
you know what? It's just hair.
No shade to that at all. It's always bald people who say, who cares about hair? It's just hair. Listen, I like hair.
Right, but we're talking about, and we're going to talk about this, what Lotus is about. These are about cancer survivors and dealing with that. Right. So it gave me a lot of confidence to sport mine.
Sport your bald head.
I got the stubble. It's just easier to shave it off. Okay, but what am I saying to Black women is, you're beautiful as you are. It's okay if you want to wear a weave. Don't I say that all the time? If you love it, I love it. However, I don't feel you could be my age and you want me to take you seriously as a woman, and you're running around competing with 20-something-year-old women. I just can't take you seriously.
So again, the blue and the purple and the pink
hair.
Yeah,
it's not going to work for me.
That's not for you?
Yeah, it's not going to work for me.
You can see going out to a nice, elegant, dinner with a...
No. Looking like Bozo the Clown.
My Little Pony.
No. I'm not going to do it. So, and what I'm saying is, age gracefully. I mean, not everybody has... when they say black don't crack, whenever I hear that, people say, "Oh, well,
be careful with that."
Yeah, no. I tell people that is not true, because you've got some Black people that have burned the candle on both ends.
Yeah, well, like if you out there smoking crack rocks and drinking,
I've seen
turning up every weekend.
Yeah, I've seen some people that are just hard looking
eating,
and stuff like that.
chitlin loaf sandwiches. Yeah, gonna be pretty rough looking.
Yeah, so basically, the narrative is that I'm hard on Black women. I don't like Black women, and I don't say nothing positive.
Well, come on.
However, I go to these events. We've gone to events, NAACP. I've gone to this event supporting cancer, things like that. I'm out in the community doing what I can. And I don't see the very people who comment at any of these events.
That's what I said, too, on that the event that you did post that you went to in Atlanta. Mm-hmm. I said, look at you out there supporting Black women.
And it was crickets.
Right.
The whole
Out
post.
there supporting black women.
Out there supporting black women and cancer survivors. Because it wasn't just about black women. It's about cancer survivors.
Well, I mean, it was a black woman who event it was. And
Yes.
I'm sure there's a lot of black women there. So.
Yes. So I just want to put that out there. It's actions, not words. You can say whatever you want to say. You should judge, at least I was taught, you judge a person by what they do.
That's what Malcolm X said. He says you can always judge a man by his actions. And not his words.
Not his words. They got a lot of pretty sounding words.
Right.
Which is what politicians do. But then you look at their actions.
Politicians.
Right. You look at their actions, Dianne Feinstein, she's a Democrat. However, if you look at her voting record, she's a Republican.
Right.
She's a diehard old school Republican. But basically, I went to this thing called Lotus. And Lotus, this was the first annual gala of Lotus. And it was Saturday, February 17th, hosted by Joyce Little, who is a DJ in Atlanta.
Okay.
And she's very, very well known there. And it was in Stockbridge, Georgia, which is about 20 minutes south of Atlanta.
Okay.
In the suburbs.
In the suburbia.
Yes. And for those guys that are interested, you can check out Lotus Inc. lotusinc.org for the webpage. And if you want to get some information on it, info@lotusinc.com. Okay. And we're going to put all that information up and do that. It was an awesome evening. It was a sold out event. And when my friend who I went to high school with in Japan, once again, even though I've never lived overseas and I'm not what I say I am, a friend of mine who I went to school in Japan, she called me up and she said, "Hey, I want you to be a part of this and do all these things." And she wanted me to actually produce the show. And I said, "Well, I don't produce outside studio stuff,
right?
Because that's very hard to do. So people that do event planning and stuff, that's very hard to do.
It's an effort.
I like to do the special effects stuff. That way, it makes my show look good. But but the minute she called me for this event, I did not hesitate, and I booked my plane ticket, and I was out of here.
Yeah.
And Lotus, what it is and what it stands for is Ladies of Triumph United Survivors. Okay? So it's really good. It was sold out, complete prayer. I mean, everybody was there. It was awesome. And the person whose idea was this, her name was Frida Perry. And here's the funny thing is, Frida was diagnosed with breast cancer at 24 years old.
Oh, wow.
Okay. And she was diagnosed again at 38. And she fought and she has won 2 times. And there's something moving over here. Oh, it's my mama cat. I thought it was Thailand.
I was about to say, listen.
Yeah, I thought it was Thailand.
You never seen me run. Yes. You about to see me run.
Right. I thought it was Thailand. He might have escaped jail. We had to put Thailand in jail because he was messing with the screens and doing what he does.
Bad as usual.
And waiting on her. Mm-hmm. So, but she was diagnosed at 38 again, and she survived both things. And she's Frida's 2 years behind me, class of 1990. So that would put her at about 28 years old.
Right.
Okay.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, 28 years old. So, and I know she's a fighter. How do I know she's a fighter?
She kicked your ass in the 8th grade?
No. Actually, you're close. I was going to tell this at the gala, but I'm going to tell it on my show. That way I can get it out there.
Yeah.
Frida is a fighter. She's always been a fighter. I've known this lady since she was in the 9th grade. Mm-hmm. Just like Amanda. I've known her since, long time. The first day of school, Frida got in a fight the first day of school. And, how people, you go to the fight spot and everybody's up there.
Yeah.
And I said, what's going on? And sure enough that, this girl, Sherry, that I knew, she was like mad at this new girl. And I said, what new girl? Because me and Frida didn't have any classes. And she's on the bus and, Frida is the sweetest person you would ever want to meet. Mm-hmm. I'm serious. She is a sweet, very quiet, things like girl. It was her first day of school. So I get on the bus. Everybody's waiting for the fight. They're trying to get her off the bus. And she's just sitting there because she just wants to go home.
Right.
Make a long story short, I go on the bus and I say, hey, new girl, if you don't get off of this bus and stand up to this girl, this stuff will never stop. That's just how it is.
Yeah.
She looked at me and sighed. And I remember I didn't know who she was at the time.
Yeah.
She just sighed, put her books down, got off the bus. And I'm thinking, oh, man, Sherry's going to beat this girl. But even if she got beat, it's going to be over.
Right.
Frida handled that girl like there was no tomorrow. So I always know my friend Frida is a fighter. So, and you know, she has a good heart, and she did this thing, and her and a bunch of people put this together. She did it in October, got her 403C, and here we are today.
Cool.
And I want to talk about one of the people I met over there, one of the vendors. Her name is Veronica Edmond, and Veronica Edmond wrote a book about her experiences with breast cancer, and it's called My Glorious Opposites, and I want you to read it, and she autographed it for me. So, so very, very good, and beautiful woman. I'm talking about, I was like the werewolf of London at this gala. I'm talking about, I mean, there was so many beautiful women.
Yes.
Half of the people there, because women support each other, half of these women that were there by themselves.
You saying they were single?
Well, I don't know if they were single. Maybe they were just there to support whatever. Maybe their husbands.
They would say, honey, you stay home.
Yeah,
I'm just
exactly.
Just kidding.
And beautiful women. I'm talking about these were some. I don't think I could handle it.
Well, did you get any numbers?
No. I was there as a runner.
You know what?
I was there supporting. And remember, my friend was already over there, so I had to go see her.
Oh, your friend.
Yeah, my friend. But
she's just your friend, though.
Yeah, she's my friend. But Veronica Edmond, and you can check her out on gloriousopposites.com. We're going to put that up as well. Beautiful woman. She talks about her adventures or her experiences going through the process of breast cancer.
Okay.
So I brought that book back. And another person I want you guys to look for is LeslieHudson.com. And Leslie Hudson, great speaker, motivational speaker. She does a lot of stuff. She's an actress, author, speaker, poet. She does testimonials. She does all kinds of events. I mean, she customized poems for any event. She does lyrics. We're going to put her information up, but you could contact her again on LeslieHudson.com.
Cool.
And it's a great thing. Now, you didn't have to be a cancer survivor to be there, because you remember my ex-wife had a double mastectomy.
Yes. And
as a support system for her, what I went through with her was horrific. I should not have gone through that, but that's my wife, and I was willing to do that.
Right.
And so it's not just for cancer survivors; it's for people that do
everybody
that.
who's involved in
right
the whole process.
In this whole process. Right. Now, people say, "Well, what is Lotus about? What is it supposed to do?" Okay, let's say you are working paycheck to paycheck, like 80% of Americans do, and you're diagnosed with this disease. Okay, you're going to get sick going through your chemo and all this other stuff like that. And let's say you're a strong, independent Black woman, right? Let's just say, because a lot of them bought into that, and you can't go to work today. You can't go to work tomorrow. You can't go to work next week because you're sick. You've gone through this process, and your mom also went through it. So you understand what I'm saying? They get sick and they have to do things like that. How do the lights get paid?
Well, luckily for my mom, she was retired.
Right. No, we're talking about just a young person and doing that's living paycheck to paycheck. So what this organization does, even though, you might go to the federal government and file for Social Security this or, to help you do that might take 8 or 9 weeks.
Oh, absolutely.
So in the in-between time, how do you pay the light bill? Now, unfortunately, we got to get our...
Edison, listen, okay? I'm going to need an extension.
Right.
I'm going through some things.
But that's what... Exactly, look. And we got to prioritize what we do.
Right.
If you can't pay your bill, that cable might need to be cut off.
Oh, listen, what you're not going to do is cut off Wendy Williams.
Right.
Okay?
You better go get you an antenna at Walmart, a little $25 antenna you can put in the indoor HD.
What's the least amount of money you take today?
Exactly. No, we're laughing about it, but this stuff actually goes on.
Absolutely.
It actually happens. And what Lotus does is they're a resource area where you can go and, they'll help you, but maybe buy groceries, maybe pay that light bill, pay that gas bill.
That's cool.
I don't know about car note, but whatever. But, they're there to help. And Frida thought of this idea.
So it's like a benevolence fund.
Right, pretty much. And they raise money all year long. And I want you guys to check out the website, Lotus.inc or lotusinc.com or org.
Now, is that just specific to people in Atlanta or is that
anywhere?
Okay.
We'll take money, everything. A minimum $3.
I'm saying, but if I needed help and I'm in California.
That's a good question. That's the first chapter out there, so I don't know if there's a chapter out here, but if we grow and this thing expands, I'm sure it can go to anybody who needs it. I mean, if you know about the organization and it's a resource, why not?
Okay.
Minimum donation of $3. Okay. Yeah. Minimum. So everything helps, but I'm just going to tell you, I was so impressed with this because when me and my wife were going through it, of course, we were in the military, so we have
resources.
We have tax dollars.
Right.
So, we go to the Naval Center down there, everything gets done.
Right.
But you don't think about those people who might not have those resources, and these strong, independent Black women who have children, what happens when the lights do get turned off? I mean, you still got bills coming in.
Say, pass me that candle, baby.
Exactly. But, I think this is
you run a cord from your neighbor house to your house.
Exactly. Yeah, the neighborhood comes together. We come together and support.
Can I use some of your electricity again?
Right. We're laughing, but this stuff happens. It really does. And, we can't wait on the federal government because sometimes they don't come in on time that you need it, because those bill collectors, they don't care what your situation is.
Right. And a lot of times, too, with the federal government, the process is so humiliating.
Yes. And
it's like, listen, I just need some help for like a month. You don't need to know everything that I've done in my whole life, do you?
Yeah. Who you been sleeping with?
Right.
Who your boyfriend is
I'm
now?
I'm not Claudine. Okay. I can have an iron, can I? Can a sister iron?
Yes. But I'm going to tell you this. I mean, this is the first gala of that, and we're already planning next year. And I'm gonna leave earlier next year, and we're gonna cover this more so, because I'm gonna be honest. When I got at the call, I'm thinking, okay, she's starting a nonprofit. Probably 35 people are gonna be there.
You're such
25.
a pessimist.
Well, you know what I mean. You can't help but you're thinking, okay, it's a kickoff thing.
Rinky-dink country.
Yeah,
pumpkin affair.
And sure enough, it was a sold out event.
Knocked your socks off.
Yeah, let me beautiful women.
Let me tell you something about Black women.
Okay, go ahead. Tell me something, because I don't know nothing.
When we want to throw a party,
yes,
we gonna make sure it's right. Okay,
right.
Everything is gonna be covered from the head to the toes,
yes,
to the windows to the wall.
Yes.
I'm just playing.
No, I'm talking about there were women. I mean,
absolutely
thickums. I'm talking about there were. You're looking at this. We were setting up, because I was basically there
thickums
to be a runner. Because I wanted
steak sandwich, steakums.
Yeah, steakums. Yeah. I was there to be a runner, and I wanted Frida to sit down and enjoy the event, because as a chairwoman, she should be able to enjoy the event. I mean, she already did the hard work. So I had no problem doing.
Night.
Yeah, I had no problem doing the hard work and just doing the whatever needs to be done. And I'm going to tell you, we were setting up. Some of the people that helped us set up. You look at them. I'm thinking, okay, that's no big deal. They came back that night.
No big deal.
Boom shakalaka. I'm talking about they would
have nice, huh?
They would have gave Afro Thunder a run for their money. I'm talking about.
How did you concentrate all night?
I stayed off to the wall. I was just looking, just like the Werewolf of London. I was just stalking my prey. No digits.
What's wrong with you, man?
I wasn't there to do that. I was there to be supportive. No. And here's the funny thing.
Here, you're here.
Yeah, but here's the funny thing. You could not tell the survivors from anybody that didn't have a problem. But these were all beautiful women. I mean, I didn't see an ugly woman in the joint.
Well, the fact that you said that you can tell the survivors from the people who didn't have it, that is a beautiful testimony, because it shows that, yes, this is something that I've had or I have, but I don't need to wear that.
Right.
You have the pink ribbon, but I'm saying as far as,
yeah.
Oh, so bad. None of that kind of stuff.
Right.
You hold your head up like this. I'm an overcomer. Overcomers don't hold their head down.
Right. I've overcome this thing, and it was great. And so I'm going to ask that everybody look into this thing. If you could donate, the minimum donation is $3.
That's not bad. I mean,
$3.
You're gonna go trick off $3 at Taco Bell.
Yeah, a Starbucks.
Right.
And, it's
you're going $5.
Yeah, $5 there, right. but then give us the $5.
Right.
But it's a worthy cause. We always talk about. We don't tithe, and we don't do, the pastor's always in there. We got the benevolent fund. We got the pastor's love offering. We got all this other stuff.
Building fund. If you going to Africa fund.
Right. If you really want to do something.
My Bentley fund.
And contribute and know that your money is going to a good cause, this is it. And I'm all for it.
I love it. I absolutely love organizations that do give back. Because, if you follow a lot of charities, especially like your Susan G. Komen, I don't know if they're affiliated to any degree.
Not at all.
But, their CEO makes upwards of $600,000 a year. And it is said that a very minimal amount of money raised actually goes to helping cancer survivors and research and stuff like that. And so, an organization like this, it's nice to know that the people can actually go. Because, with no shade to Susan G. Komen, but when you go to these organizations, can you go to Susan G. Komen and say, listen, my lights are going to get cut off. Can you write me a check or pay Edison or whatever?
Yeah,
but with this organization, it sounds like you can do that.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm going through some things. I just need something to eat, whatever. Yeah,
right.
Sure.
Right. Or let's say you're going through the process and your breast has been cut off. You need a prosthetic. Those are expensive. Maybe, clothes. I mean, all these vendors were there for give people ideas that these places do exist. You need a wig, a prosthetic, which is.
But let me ask you this: what is the? I guess what determines who gets help? Like what is the process one has to go through?
I'm not really sure. You would have to go to the info thing and ask those questions. Yeah. But I'm very sure if you're diagnosed and I don't know what the paperwork is. I don't know what it is. But if you're part of the team, this organization was formed by survivors for survivors.
So they know.
Yeah.
The last thing you trying to do is here's all my medical records,
no, I don't think
it's
that.
And all of my medicine saying that I'm truly in need of, right.
I don't think they do that. Or it's a scam where you come in there, well, Ray and Pookie, my light's about to get off and, whatever. No, I don't think it's any of that. Like I said, this is by survivors.
That's
for
good
survivors.
To know. And the reason why I asked that, because like I said, there's a lot of organizations that'll take you through the stuff.
Yes. Yeah.
To just get a peanut.
Yeah.
So that's good.
And they give out gift cards, whatever, just to make that person feel
the moment easy.
Yeah, make it easy, even if it's just for that moment.
Right.
So, we're going to have a lot of sponsors with that, and I'm going to be putting this up because, as you see, I am even though I don't support women, black women.
Well, you ain't got no titties, though.
I don't need none.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't need none. I'm a Lotus person. I got my shirt on, but I don't do nothing positive for black women.
So what do they call the Lotus members? Like Beyonce has the Beehive.
That's a good question. I could tell you I was just there as a observer and a worker, so I didn't really get into the logistics of it because that's not my area. My area is to promote it and get out here and see what I saw, and I was so impressed that I'm a believer. I believe that's something that we need because nobody's going to save us. We got to start saving ourselves.
You ain't lying, brother.
We got to start saving ourselves. And like I said, I want to give a big shout out to Leonard Perry Jr. Quick Tax. If you need some taxes done, Leonard Perry Jr. he does them. You can go to perrysquicktax.net. Check him out. And he's all the way in Atlanta, but you can do taxes via the internet and stuff like that. He does that really, really good. We'll get some information on that. And also, FB Perry Salon, who was a big sponsor of the event, which is Mrs. Perry's own personal business.
Right.
And I'm going to tell you another thing about this event. There were so many people that had resources that owned their own businesses. This is an entrepreneurial thing over there.
That's what it's about. You got to have something that you do outside of punching the clock, whatever that is.
Right. And that was a big thing. And you can check out Miss Perry on salonfbperry.com. I mean, she's a businesswoman, there it is.
I am not mad at her.
And I remember I was at Fairchild Air Force Base in Spokane, Washington, and she was working for the base, doing hair, stuff like that. And I remember specifically Frida had said she wanted to open her own shop. And damn it, she did it.
Speak it into existence and go after it.
And she did, so. But like I said, she's the sweetest person. I want to thank her for doing this thing. If me and my wife had known there was an organization like this, we would have definitely been in supportive of it. Even though I'm removed from this, cancer type thing.
Right.
I've experienced it, and so that doesn't stop me from also supporting it.
Absolutely.
So we ask for everybody to bring their support in.
Like you said, we got to take care of our own. It's time. We used to take care of our own, so get back to doing that. So that's awesome.
Right. So again, if you know of somebody that needs those resources, because you never know. I know we want to be Superwoman and all this other stuff, but with these women getting butt injections and killing themselves, and this cancer is becoming more and more prevalent.
Well, yeah. Anytime you inject something that doesn't belong in your body into
or
your
you
body,
eat something that has been injected with steroids and stuff,
right?
These are things.
You have some issues,
and unfortunately, in the black community, and we got to get this information out. That's why you need to go to Lotus and look at the information that they have. Disproportionately, because we eat a lot of ramen and health things, it's affecting us disproportionately to our white counterparts.
Absolutely. We need to educate ourselves on what, like you said, the food is actually doing to us. And not only, because see, I think a lot of times we get into the habit of always discussing the bad stuff, opposed to discussing, okay, yeah, we know why you shouldn't be eating top ramen, but let's talk about what we should be
eating.
You know,
right.
And then people will be, they'll be more geared toward that.
Right, right. So, I mean, like I said, I was very proud of her for this event. It was a lot of work to do. I could not. Next year, we were going to make a plan to go, and that way we could do that and cover it a little bit better. Being a man, I have my biases about it, but
oh my god,
or better yet, you can hold down my position while I go and get some numbers.
You're right. You can be mingle,
right? I can mingle and do my thing.
All right, I got you.
There was one friend,
the wing woman.
Yes. There was one friend of hers that was there. And we were setting up, I didn't pay her too much money. She was organizing. She was pretty much the stage manager. And she came back that night. It was like, whoa. But I'm going to tell you what made her attractive to me. Because she was an attractive woman already, and she's in law enforcement, which is totally unattractive when you're from California. Law enforcement gets no play out there.
That's about anywhere nowadays.
But she works for law enforcement or whatever. But what made her attractive about me was her attitude. She was very fun and bubbly and stuff like that. And that's what I was really attracted to.
You mean to tell me her fists weren't bald?
No, actually they weren't. They weren't bald.
Which she say, what you looking at?
At first, she probably did like, nigga, she coming up in here. No, but I don't know what it was, but me being the gentleman that I am, even though me and her are working the event, there was a cash bar. Now, Atlanta, when they pate, because I'm thinking, you're at this event you don't serve no alcohol, but hey, we
usually say, listen, BYOB.
Right.
Bring your own damn bag.
They had the cash bar. I mean, no expenses were spared. This was a major event.
That's good.
So me being the gentleman that I am, I go and offer her, would you like to have a drink? And she wanted these exotic drinks, whatever, which is fine. I said, order whatever you like. Which they gave to us in plastic cups. but the bar was there.
The objective was met.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I had a wine. Yes. And, and her and another lady, I bought them a drink and stuff. But she was very bubbly, liked to dance. The music was good. She had a DJ there. We had young artists that were there. I have some video clips I'm going to show toward the end, and you guys could see what we're doing and what was going on there. But I'm going to strongly recommend everybody, I don't care if you're from California or whatever, if you have a chance to go to this event, go to this event. And hopefully other chapters will spring up and we can have an event here in California.
Yeah.
And so on.
Or maybe you can start it.
I do a lot for this community. And you know what I mean? We need other people to step up and do these things. Like I said, like you always say, nobody's going to save us.
Nobody's saving us.
I just, like I said, I was highly impressed, and I put that on our school website because we also like to see our alumni that are doing great things in the community.
Right.
I haven't made it there yet because obviously I'm doing.
You're a hater.
Yeah, I do stuff that just people just. How dare you expose the corruption going on in your cities?
Right.
You're not with it. But all in all, it was a great event. I can't say anything bad about it, and I hope everybody contributes. And even if you contribute here, I will make sure that the money gets to Lotus some way, somehow.
You see a Bentley parked outside your house.
Exactly. But also, it's a charity. That's a tax write-off.
Cool.
Tax write-off. So,
cool.
So that's what I've been doing for the last week. And I come back home, and it is cold as I don't know what.
You ain't lying.
And Tylen was not even abducted.
Look at that.
Last time I was gone, Tylen was abducted.
Look at that.
So I know that somebody stole my cat, and but now I kind of wish somebody did steal him because he's so damn bad. But in regards your trip, when you went back to your, you were gone about a week or so, and we did a live thing in Florida. I know that's an old friend of yours. A lot of people have been getting killed by this flu strain.
Yes, the flu is no joke. What is it, like 60 or so people now?
Yeah, the number is 60 something.
Yeah, it's climbing. People just need to be aware.
And your friend had succumbed to that too.
Yeah, he did. He the flu, took him out of there, but just not really realizing he was that sick until he went to the hospital, and they were like, "Yeah, you're that sick, and then some."
And that brings me back again. Another tie into Lotus. Ladies, please, I don't care how young you are. My friend got diagnosed at 24. Go to the doctor and get those checks. And just like Miss Perry said, you have to be your own advocate. If you feel something ain't right, you've got to speak up and insist.
It's your body.
Right. It's your body. And you're paying that insurance thing anyway.
It's your body.
So, if she hadn't insisted, she wouldn't have been diagnosed as early, and it probably could not have been caught.
Right.
And my friend would probably be in dire straits right now. Mm-hmm. So, be it the flu, and in the South, it's really bad. And Black people in general, it's bad. We do not go to the doctor.
What does Chris Rock say? We take Robitussin.
Yeah.
Robitussin,
yeah. And some Tylenol and call it a day.
Or the old folks gave you castor oil.
Right.
Yeah.
Once a week or something like during the cold and flu season.
Right.
So, it's just important. Nobody's going to save us, and we have to start using our common sense.
Right.
A good example right now, I am starting to drink ginger tea using real ginger root.
I drink ginger and turmeric tea every day.
Right.
Every day.
And you started eating better and became a vegan.
4 years ago, I've been a vegan. This month, as a matter of fact, 4 years I've made being a vegan.
Yeah, mm-hmm. Every time we go to lunch, she gets that little tofu. But
it's better than that dead thing on your plate.
Yeah, well, I gotta have me something. I gotta have me some meat. But no, Dee showed me a picture of how she was. How many years ago was that?
About 4 years ago.
About 4 years ago.
Oh, well, the one I showed you, that was about maybe 10 or so
10 years ago. Uh-huh. Because I remember when you were married, you were a little bit heavier, but you weren't. But, you guys come from some thickum families, You guys have that spell. That's why your sister's a monster. I love it. But since you became a vegan, did that change your...
Oh, absolutely.
It flushed your system?
And I can tell people this. I don't talk about being a vegan because I want you to be a vegan. I think it's I don't know, hell, you make your own decision. But for me, I didn't do it for the animals. A lot of people, not that I'm not an animal person, I didn't do it because I wanted to save them per se. I'm not stupid enough to say, well, it's all about the animals because we're the top of the food chain. We're the top of the food chain. It's the way it is. But I did it for me because I was unhealthy. If you see a picture of me back then and you see a picture of me now, you would think I was 10 years older.
Yeah.
I was
totally
heavier.
Different person. Mm-hmm.
From that time that I went vegan, I lost about 60 pounds or so. Mm-hmm.
Your man was putting you through stress, so that helped.
Yeah, had a lot of issues health-wise. And so I stopped eating the meat. Mm-hmm. I lost the weight. Took a lot of years off of my appearance, the way I look. I have a lot of energy. I get a couple hours of, sleep a day. Mm-hmm. And the rest, I don't take a nap. Mm-hmm. And
then your face is a lot clearer from years ago.
Oh, yeah. I wish I could show you a picture of my complexion. Mm-hmm. It was just
the toxins of just...
Everything was just, ugh. But yeah, I have no issues with being a vegan.
Right. Would you recommend for, here's a, I know people are going to eat me up for saying this. A lot of these young girls, you look at their face, I don't know if it's the makeup or whatever, but it's like there's something wrong in their face. And would you think it's their diet?
It's a combination of things. Mm-hmm. It's the diet. It's a lot of makeup. I could tell my daughter a lot. It says when I was your age or even younger, we wore mascara, eyeliner, and some lip gloss and lipstick, and that was maybe some powder. Yeah. But that was about it. I said, but you guys look like, not her because she didn't do that, but you guys look like you're going to Broadway. You're going to be on Broadway.
Yeah, they're doing the Louis the 16th.
Yeah, or not to be mean, but they're like drag queens.
Yeah, Louis the 16th.
You said even that sometimes you have to wonder if it's a dude,
right?
It's a
female.
Yeah. So it's the makeup in addition to lifestyle, the party and all that stuff, and the diet. When we were coming up, the food wasn't quite as bad.
Bad, right?
We didn't have all the food choice. Hell, we went to McDonald's. We was like, whoo!
Yeah. When we were coming up, going to a fast food restaurant was a luxury,
right? But now it's just. Oh, where are we going to eat today? And because yesterday we ate a Taco Bell. The day before we had KFC. What are we going to do differently today? Right. So we didn't have that. So the diets. Like I told my daughter, I never seen so many out of shape young people. Women. Yeah. With these big old stomachs and
bullet wounds, stab wounds in their butt.
Their generation just cool with that. When I was a girl, we had flat stomachs because we walked everywhere and stuff. Everywhere. We was not finna be walking around with no spare tires hanging all out the shirt and shit.
Right. So
yeah.
So I mean, by eating better, that kind of helped your situation.
Listen, a lot of things can be solved within and outside of our body with what we put in our body. It's just plain and simple. People argue, well, you can do this and you can do that. Because I have a lot of people say that to me too. Oh, you don't know what you're talking about.
Right.
You can eat meat and still do this.
Yeah.
You can eat whatever you want.
Right.
I'm just saying I don't do that because it's optimal for me.
Right.
But I think we're sadly mistaken to say that we can eat whatever we want and still have good health. That's not true. Especially in our community, we hang on to the soul food.
Yeah.
Well, my mama ate fried chicken until she was 90 and she was all right.
Yeah.
Well, what mattered if she didn't eat it? How much longer would she have lived?
Right.
And what did she live to be 90? And was she running around zipping all through the neighborhood, or was she?
Yeah. Struggling. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, we just need to stop with the narrative that we can just do whatever we want, and that's kind of where we are in our community. Where I can do whatever I want.
Right. It's kind of like the Native Americans or Indians. They're predisposed to
alcoholism. Right.
So and I'm a firm believer in that every culture has some kind of kryptonite.
Everybody has their vices, but ours is it's not a secret that we have the worst diets and we suffer with in almost every category as far as ill health.
Right.
So that. Connect the dots.
Right.
Is it what we're doing? It's obviously it's lifestyle, it's food, it's a lot of things, but definitely the diet.
Right. But I'm going to say this, and like I said, I have firsthand experience with it. Knock on wood, a lot of my aunts and women in my family have not been under the cancer thing, because we have the typical black stuff, diabetes, and
the
stuff,
typical black stuff.
Stuff.
Just a little diabetes.
Yeah. Whenever I hear somebody, like a lot of my relatives die of diabetes, that's something that you can control yourself.
Absolutely.
But you don't need a magic bullet.
Nah, you can eat whatever you want, because we should just be able to do whatever we want. My auntie and they did it.
When you get the cancer, the C word hits you, and you're a young person, that is not a death sentence if you have the right support system. I mean, I am having my ex-wife go through that and experience it. I was fairly young. I was in my early 40s, whatever. So I was like 40, 42. The horrific thing of dealing with that. Here this woman she was whole, and now she's going to lose her breast, which brings psychological problems to her. Yeah. She's deformed.
Right.
And, she has her vice because she was a smoker, so she's getting into that, and she's stressed out because she doesn't feel like she's whole. She doesn't feel like a woman anymore.
It's a lot to deal with.
And then as a man, I'm a breast man. Everybody knows that. That's, that's why I love your sister. I love her. One of them things. But... but as somebody that's, here's my spouse, and I don't have my play toys anymore. So that
my play toys.
Well, you know what I mean? I don't mean to put it like that. I know that's kind of funny.
My pillows.
Yeah, my pillows are gone, so that affects me too in the relationship. I mean,
absolutely.
So there's a lot of things involved when that does happen. So if you're a young person and you're going and you get that C diagnosis, and you don't have that support system, to me, the biggest thing is having a support system. And that's another thing that Lotus does. If you don't have that support system, Lotus could be that support system. Yeah. So I'm an advocate for it.
Right. I agree.
I'm very big with it. But I'm also, big on like you said, our diet. Maybe that could be...
We just got to be proactive. I think a lot of us, we are reactive. Oh, my God, I'm sick. Okay, I need to go do this. I need to go take all these pills. But if you were proactive, you say, okay, in order to avoid that, let me, maybe push away from the fried chicken a little bit, go on a walk,
let me stop smoking,
water, all of that. That's being proactive, because it's easier to, I think, avoid it before you get to that point than it is to try to get away from it once you're already there. So.
And the key to cancer is early diagnosis. The earlier they can get it, the better. And like I said, I met all these people that were survivors and people that were family members of survivors, and we're all telling the same story, because it is so good when you look at the years from the time that person was diagnosed and they're still here.
Right.
You're like, whoa, Frida is 428.
Yeah, 28.
So from the time that she was diagnosed to now, that's a blessing in herself.
Right.
And I put a video up on the Lotus page where she was actually talking at the event, and her son was with her.
Right.
And she said that she was going to fight because she didn't want no other woman raising
that's right.
her son.
Right.
Right. And I think it was that, and she don't want no other woman with her man.
It is what it is, right. Okay?
Right. So... like I said, even though I get this reputation of I'm so negative and I put all this negative stuff up, I'm giving all this information for my people.
Well, and that's going to kind of, that point segues into our next topic. We'll get into it a bit on the next one. But yeah, I mean, those people just, your opinion doesn't matter. I don't care.
Right.
You know, because I know who I am. I know what I'm doing. Mm. I don't need to validate anything that I'm doing to you, and you don't validate me. Right. So go. Right.
Well,
kick rocks.
Right, but isn't it funny if I'm as bad as these people say that I am, how many things do I always tell you when people say, Donovan, I need your help. Donovan, I need you to do this. Donovan, I need you to do that. Well,
that's just how human nature works, I mean, there's a lot of things that play into it. Mm. I think a lot of people who spend time hating, and I don't know if hating is probably the right word, but it's pretty close to it. They don't feel good about themselves, and so it's easy for them to pick your stuff apart.
Right.
But that won't stop them from saying, "Can you help me?"
Right. Of course not.
With your hating ass, can you help me?
Yeah, exactly. I also want to give a quick shout out to a artist that I found. Her name is Passion, and she is from my hometown.
Okay.
My birth town, not my hometown. My hometown is here.
Who is Passion?
Passion is an artist, and she's a young lady. I think she's in 10th grade, and she has a desire to be a singer. She goes all over the South, cool. And she's into all the different star searches and stuff like that. And she's backed by her mom and her family and stuff like that. And I happen to have
a clip.
No, I don't have a clip. I have a copy of her single that was produced down there, and I'm going to debut that on the Donovan Sadiq show, and maybe give you guys a snippet here on coming up, whatever it is. But I want to highlight her and get her stuff out there and do that as well. So, but she's a very gifted singer. She's very gifted. I
can't wait to hear it.
I know music.
Yes, well, not better than me. I
can hold my own with you. Basically, I can hold my own with you. So you might know music, but I know the writing, the producing.
Right. I don't even know lyrics.
Right. But she's a very talented young lady. I want to debut that because she did go out and give me the single, and I kept saying I'm going to debut it. Just been busy, but I'm a man of my word. I'm going to debut this lady's single, and I hope you guys like it. And again, if you try to bootleg it, it's already copyrighted, all that other stuff, so don't even go there and do that.
Like the song that you and Deanna are in a race for.
Yes. Yes. Matter of fact, I remixed it, so if Deanna puts it out there. wait, sing the verse.
Where can I hide
it? Dee's mom wrote an R. Kelly-esque song.
She just said, where can I hide the videotapes of me pissing on little people. Okay, she didn't write. That wasn't what it's about. Okay, no.
I was saying no.
Speaking of which, he didn't. You sent me that article.
Yeah, I sent you that article. He's being evicted, and that's where he keeps his hoes at. Two of those, and that was in Georgia. I should have gone by and stopped by. I should have stopped by. But I want to give a big shout out to my Uncle Eric, all the family clan, Malloy, the Hurst, Hurst. It's a big difference.
Get it right.
And all my dragons out there that listen and tune into the show. And also
all my drag queens.
My dragons. Fellow classmates from Okinawa, Japan.
Yeah.
Also, before I left, I almost missed my plane, but I stopped to see a friend of mine. My father sponsored her father. They're in the same unit, but they sponsored her and stuff like that. And, and we had lunch at this famous restaurant in Atlanta. I can't remember the name of it right now. And
it's so famous you forgot the name.
Well, I was in such a rush, whatever, but it was packed. It was like going to Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles on a Sunday. And she has a beautiful daughter. Her daughter was born in Okinawa. Mm-hmm. And I told her, you need to go back there and take her back there, whatever it is. And she was giving me the 411 on the Atlanta dating scene and stuff like that. And I'm going to do a story on that. She says that it's very difficult as a woman to find a good man.
Ooh, that's a whole other topic.
Yeah, in Atlanta. And I was like, what? All this dick run? So, well.
Okay, but some of that dang-a-lang.
And my friend is highly attractive. I mean, beautiful skin, and she's a breast cancer survivor as well.
If the men don't want no woman, it's going to be hard to... Not saying, listen, y'all, don't...
No, I know what you're saying.
It is the gay... Men in
Atlanta is the gay black man's capital, yes.
Right.
So that's...
Or gay black man's heaven.
I guess. I don't know, but... Again, like I said, she was telling me about that, and I was like in shock because the ratio out there is 11-1. It's 7-1 here.
Listen, y'all be mad at me if you want to, but if I was single and I lived in Atlanta, I would just be single in Atlanta.
Okay. You hear that, Al?
No chances.
Right.
No chances.
Right. That's true.
I My opinion.
Your opinion. I hear you. So, like I said, you guys, please check out lotusinc.org. Check it out. Ask some questions. It is a great organization. I think so. I'm going to be promoting that. And they're also going to sponsor some of our shows.
Hey.
So, we're making it. But you guys stay tuned and be ready. DK on Sundays, 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We are going into the next segment. 2D Hard Way is going to be next. So you guys stand by for that show because she's got some information that's going to keep the hate coming.
Whatever.
We'll see you guys in the next segment. Stand by.